Good evening, everybody. Tonight on the Tavern, we are going to talk about growing the game, something that's near and dear to all of our hearts, with Dave Andrews from the park in South Florida in West Palm Beach. We're also going to talk about more golf on TV at the Masters, and pick me out a winner, Bobby. Let's get into it.
Yeah. I think he is back to form. He fell off a little bit last year, but he also was named Ryder Cup captain. Give me Steve Grant!
What's up, Dave? How are you? Dave, you there? Can you hear me?
It's always fun with you at the controls watching what's about to happen.
You know, let's get into that. Man, how was your weekend? You actually got out and played golf this weekend, didn't you?
Either I'm froze or you're froze. Nope, it's me.
It's you. All right. Well, I'm gonna go reboot. I'll hop you back in. You can pop back in. So I'm gonna get right into it. There's a lot of news that broke down today. And I'll hop into first round and cover some of it before we get into happy hour here. So let's do first round.
Ready to take your game to the next level? Desert Fox Golf's collegiate gear is growing fast, with over 25 universities and counting. Show off your favorite team on the course with the Phone Caddy and DJ 10 speaker, built for easy access for every round. Perfect for students, alumni, and college sports fans looking to show off their school spirit. Gear up today at desertfoxgolf.com.
Man, I was hoping that tonight I was going to be able to have it. It's literally in the mail. I will probably get it tomorrow with my luck. But I've got a new Desert Fox Golf phone caddy coming in, and I'm going to get to be able to rep that Central Florida team here, the UCF Knights, with my DJ 10 speaker and my new phone caddy. So I can't wait for that to come in. So if you don't have one, their NCAA license stuff is fire. I know it's college football season starting, so if you're playing that early Saturday morning round, go ahead and check that out. So I guess we'll start with the news that broke today. You guys know the three of us that host the show, Dave, Greg, and myself. All of our favorite golf movie is The Legend of Bagger Vance. And unfortunately, this morning it broke that Robert Redford passed away. And Robert directed the movie, and it was an incredible movie from start to finish. Everything that he did in that movie was amazing, but had some other great movies, including The Natural that I quoted in our intro. If you're not familiar with The Natural, it's one of the best baseball movies ever made. And then you have just so many great movies. Just absolutely incredible. So I think we've got Dave back here. Let's see. Dave, we good to go now?
We're good to
You're
go.
cooking with peanut oil?
Hey, there we go.
There we go. So, Dave, I was talking about Robert Redford passing this morning. Obviously, our favorite movie, The Legend of Bagger Vance, and The Natural. But there were so many great movies that he directed.
For me, his non-golf is I love The Sting.
Yeah, The Sting was a great movie.
The Sting is, for me, that was.
Yeah.
So,
hey, did you see the other news that broke today, by the way?
Which part?
I've
been a little busy today.
More TV coverage at Augusta?
Oh, yes. But
if you've got Amazon Prime.
What's it gonna cost you?
Amazon Prime membership, that's it. So that Prime Video membership is definitely going to be worth it come April. Now with 2 hours from 1 to 3 before ESPN picks coverage up. On Thursday and Friday, you were going to get early round coverage at Augusta, which means that all of us will be sitting in our offices with the Masters on even earlier than before. So pretty excited about that.
Some of us have gotten the chance to go there again this year.
Oh, one of us is. I'm sorry. I actually wore my Masters 2023 hat in honor of us getting more TV golf today. So
yeah.
And then the other news that broke today, and I know Greg's going to be upset.
Yes, Bradley.
He's played this golf course. The other news that broke today was that Kapalua will not be hosting the season opening Tournament of Champions due to the water problems that they're having in Kapalua.
Yeah, I think Greg and I touched on that one night when you weren't here. And then it's not water problems that they're having. It's a lease agreement with the people that have the water. And it's a sad day for Kapalua there, but there are several other great courses.
That golf course generates $50 million a year for the local community. So when you think about the economic impact,
and especially because Kapalua was on the other side of the fires. I was there that fall, right after the fires, and I knew some people that were going to play Kapalua, and they had to drive up and around because the road straight from where we were staying wasn't even open to get there. So it's devastating to that area, and hopefully everything gets worked out soon.
Yeah, no, it's it's a good spot. I started wondering today right away, did they do the Torrey Pines two-step again and go to Torrey for the kickoff possibly, and then go back?
I think they play one of the other PGA courses out there and they'll be fine.
I don't know. I don't know. The tour is kind of holding their cards close to the vest on this one.
Odds with Dave says
you know what I will say, and I know we're not going to talk about the golf course today, but our guest tonight, their spot would be a great one to host that event.
Oh yes, it would.
In South Florida. Yes, it would. So they've already hosted a made for TV event. So, but no, they there's some good spots that they could host us in. I think we'll see. Maybe they take it back to. They used to have it in California in the desert. Maybe they take it back to the desert. We'll see where they take it. So lots of moving parts there. But I know this is going to be a little earlier than we normally do this, but I have a funny feeling that tonight's interview is going to go long, based on the amount of
and long in a good reason. It's a good reason.
So
yes, we're excited about this one.
Yeah, I've been excited about doing this and talking about this for quite a while, but I do think that after conversation, the comments that were made last week, I think that this is more that we need to talk about. So why don't we jump into happy hour and just get the ball rolling right away on this one. There's Dave's stomach. Hey, Dave, welcome back. So
rub the Buddha for good luck.
Yes. So last week, Paul McGinley, former PGA Tour winner, Ryder Cup captain for Team Europe, he came out and said that the PGA Tour was better when its players traveled around the globe to grow the game. And while that may have been true in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, with what's going on in TV, with where you have TV contracts, and the cost to go to a PGA Tour event now, because it's not cheap to go to a PGA Tour event. I personally don't think, and Dave, you've been to this event, and we're going to get into a little detail here first. Mm-hmm. I don't think that professional golfers actually grow the game by showing up in a city. When you look at the golf and impact in the golf community, do they get our kids that are already interested in golf out at golf tournaments? Yes. And are those the kids that are out there? Yes. So my personal opinion, and I'm going to use Bay Hill for an example. I don't think in Orlando that there is a boost on golf interest or participation. I don't think it changes from the week before the tournament to the week after the tournament at all. The only thing that I think changes is the cost to play golf the week of the tournament. Good luck at a tee time too. Now, I will say this.
or the week of the PGA show, but that's a different story.
Right. But in Orlando, the money raised for that event, and where I think the bigger impact is the money that goes to the hospitals, the Arnold and Winnie Palmer hospitals here in Orlando. And honestly, that's where that money should go, in raising money for the community. Tonight, I'm excited to introduce Dave Andrews tonight. And Dave is the director of the Path at the park in West Palm Beach. And what is the Path and what is the park? I've talked about the park. I've been to the park. It is an amazing facility. I'm going to show a quick video here that shows you what the Path is really quickly before we get into this. And as a parent, we're gonna get into this. Let's just bring Dave in and let's just jump right in. So, Hey, Dave, welcome to the Tavern tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, this is great. Thank you, and I appreciate the team at the park for setting this up. So, typically, our guests come on here and we talk about golf. We talk about golf brands. We talk about a lot of the crazy things in this industry that we all love. And for those people that haven't been to the park, they may have seen it. You have that poster right behind you from the Capital One, the match. What a cool event that was that you guys had the LPGA and the PGA Tour out there. But tonight, we're going to take a kind of a different view of what you do and what goes on at the park and talk about the Path, the community outreach that you guys do, and how you guys are truly not just a golf course, but you're building a brand, you're building a golf community, you're building a community, you're building the community around you. I saw it firsthand, and we'll get into that a little later. But let's start with probably the easiest question. What is the Path and what's its mission?
Well, the Path is a community program. When we were hired to create the park, there was a series of 5 to 6 guys that all stayed in a trailer. The trailer was full of sand. We had a dog. We were tasked with coming up with the identity of the park. And so from everything of how it's going to play to how people are going to react to the course, what they're going to dress. And I was tasked with the program that was known at the time as a community program. And there wasn't a name for it. There wasn't anything built for it. There was a white piece of paper that I was handed and said, here's all the thoughts that everybody has had leading up to it. We've hired you for this position. What are you going to do? And I spent 3 to 4 months listening to the needs of the community. I walked around, knocked on doors. I did everything I possibly could to learn the community. I'm a golfer, but I'm not a professional golfer. I love the game, but I wouldn't necessarily think that I am the person that people would equate to that works at a golf course. I decided to reach out to all the local communities and figure out what the true need was. And the biggest need that we found in West Palm Beach was education. We couldn't solve housing. We could partially solve hunger, but we can solve education and we can solve physical activity. So we created a program called the Path. The Path is as in golf and in life, there's a path for everyone. That path doesn't mean it's linear. It might be in the bunker. It might be in the sand. It might be in the water. But our goal is to take kids that are proverbial off the path in life and help them find the fairway. We've designed this program to be the most authentic and inclusive community program that exists. It's truly built on a foundation of education. We want to take kids and meet them where they're at and bring in paid teachers that are at their respectable schools and help tutor them, all while introducing the game of golf. There wasn't a time that we thought about the path was going to be how we're going to grow the game. The topic of growing the game actually never came up in the formulation of the path. It was truly to solve a community need. But by the byproduct of introducing all of these kids who have never played the game of golf, we are indeed growing the game.
Yeah.
Now, I may be out here in Iowa, but I lived there in Florida for years. My aunt and uncle lived down there just outside of West Palm Beach in the city of Atlantis, so I'm kind of very familiar with the area. And a lot of the kids you're talking about down there. But as dads, we do the best to introduce our kids to the game. I'm in Southeast Iowa right now. We're a farming community. We have our local 9-hole course. I know where Steve's living, right down the road from where I used to be. But there's not, for us, for myself, and I know for Steve, there's not a lot of after school activities at our courses, for kids there. What programs does a path offer, and who are the kids that you're targeting for those programs?
I agree with you. As a father of 2 kids, a soon-to-be 12-year-old and an 11-year-old, it's hard to find an opportunity for your kids. It's either sports.
Mine's about to be 11, going on 17.
I feel the same thing with my 11-year-old for sure. But luckily, they have a place to come and they get to hang out with me. My daughter's at gymnastics right now. My son's playing the par 3 at night right now with a bunch of guys. Hopefully he's not betting money out there, but it's
candy bars.
So it's at the path, we have a plethora of programs. We start with our main signature program for elementary school. It's called Fairway Finders. That's introduced to the kids 3rd grade through 5th grade. That's a tutoring and a homework help program that is a mix of both education, PE, and golf. And these kids stay with us for the entire year. We work to find these kids through the principals and ESE coordinators and guidance counselors. We truly find need-based kids. There's no application for this program. You can't find it on the website where you're going to apply and your kid's going to be automatically in the program. While we have opened up the doors recently to an open application for some open spots, we give these schools, these Title I schools, their spots. And we give them rules of, what they can do here. We give them the opportunity to come in as they are. And so we give them everything from food to clothes to clubs. We have iPads. We have all the technology they need. They can truly get here. We can take care of them for the rest of the day. Our other programs that build upon Fairway Finders is a program called Fairway Futures. Fairway Futures is our middle school program, which focuses on kids that have expressed a little deeper interest in the game of golf. These kids may be interested in playing PGA Junior League, perhaps even to U.S. Kids. But we explore the par 3 courses and even start playing on the big course a little bit more with them. We're working with head golf professionals. And we also have a financial literacy teacher, because one of the needs that we found in middle school is these kids want to learn more about money and how to manage it and finances to it. And so what better time to give them what they want, and while helping them along with their golf game. The middle school program is hopefully a bridge to what's called our ACE Academy. Our ACE Academy stands for Achieving Character Excellence. It's essentially our paid internship here at the park. We give high school sophomores, juniors, and seniors an opportunity to get their first job with us. They work in golf operations, food and beverage, agronomy, the path, coaching, and we give them a place that they can come and they can learn and they can grow. Not to mention, they also get to work with our academic counselor, who sets them up for success, helps them with their college essays, their college applications, finding the right career. So we truly have something here at the park from 3rd grade all the way to senior high. And a mix of other programs exist, such as art, STEM, other financial literacy courses, mobile snag. We truly want to invest into the community the best we can.
That's amazing. And I know I will show this to my wife later on. My wife is a financial advisor, and I think getting kids educated in the finances at a younger age is a bigger help farther down the road, rather than trying to explain, you're $50,000 in debt because you ran up a credit card.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, if you ever need somebody to come down and talk to these kids about home mortgages, that's actually what I do on the side. So outside of the golf world, I'm a mortgage broker. So
let's go
all around here.
I make wine for a living, so I'm probably not the best guy to come down and talk to the kids.
No, the restaurant could definitely, we can go down there later. So
we had an etiquette dinner last year for our ACE Academy. And our entire food and beverage team came in. It was one of the highlights of the year for sure for the team. But we pulled out grape juice and white grape juice and showed them how to pour them in the different wine glasses and everything.
That's
when you're
right up my alley. Yeah, because it's just amazing what you can learn by doing something like that.
I think, when I look at my kids are 9 and 11. My oldest just went into middle school. And fell into that group of kids that was going to start learning how to read in kindergarten when COVID shut the school system down. And obviously that age group has struggled, and it's been very well documented that age group has struggled. As a working parent, and I think this is one of the questions I really want to focus on here with you guys is, these after school programs. And you're going in and you're hitting these kids that need this literally. For parents like myself and trying to get home from work, get homework done, help them with their homework, what they didn't learn today, trying to get all that done before the sun goes down, you have dinner. How do these programs work? Like, do you guys pick the kids up from school? How does transportation work? And then do they need to bring their own golf clubs with them?
all good questions. So at the very minimum, when our kids are here, and we'll speak specifically on Fairway Finders and Fairway Futures, the goal is the kids have to be able to provide transportation here. We've toyed around with the idea of offering a bus and some sort of transportation. It's not off the table yet, but we're in our third academic year. So we've had 2 full academic years and a partial that we used as a test. So we're in the beginning of our third full academic year. And the big T, as I call it, has come up before. But we've been fortunate that we're serving schools anywhere from 1 to 6 miles away. And, if there's a free program that's going to help my kids with their homework, with the teacher that they see during the day and introduce them to a sport, I'm going to find the way to get my kid there. And I think we found that same piece, so much so that we measured retention as one of our main key factors when we first started this program. And we had an 84% retention throughout the entire academic year. So you have a free program. Kids, they could do something else, but they want to be here. And that's just a testament of the culture that we've created and the opportunity that we're presenting to them and really giving them something that they need. So the kids get here and they have everything that they need. They have the computers they need. They have a little locker room area where they can kind of put their book bags down. But they get out and we create a plan for them each day. We have their test scores. We know exactly where they're at on a academic standpoint. We measure their reading scores, their math scores, and their science scores through statewide testings. And we know exactly where to focus these kids. So they come in and they work in pods. So we have at least 2 teachers that are here from the district, sometimes 3, and sometimes a translator because of the Spanish-speaking population here in South Florida. And we meet those kids exactly where they're at to be able to give them what they need. Last year was our first year that we measured academic success. And in the school system, there's a saying goes, we're going to measure success by what's considered gains. Academic improvement is also known as gains. Last year was our first year we measured it. We scored 96%. So 96% of our kids showed an academic improvement. This past year, I was like, there's no way we're going to get 96%. Like, it's just not going to happen. We had 95.3. And that just truly says that we know that we're going to meet the kids where they're at. We're going to give them everything that they have, and whatever our teachers are empowering them to give them, we have it for them. And so these kids come in, they have their homework done. When they're done, when they leave this program, and we have everything for them. If I move my camera, which I may not get it back in this position, I'd show you all of the golf clubs, all of the putters, the drivers. We probably have 30 or 40 custom fit clubs. So kids come in and they get fit for clubs. So we're not giving a cut down Scotty Cameron, which would probably be a pretty nice gift, but we're not giving, a putter that doesn't fit them. We're actually exposing them to equipment that's properly sized for them so they can succeed both on and off the course. And so when they're part of Fairway Futures, because it's more golf centered, we fit them and give them their entire set to take home, because we believe responsibility is taking care of those clubs and bringing them back, so you know what you need to do with it. But these kids get free range balls whenever they want to come back. So we find kids on the weekends bringing their family in. Hey, I want to come show them how I hit my driver. Hey, I want to come in and play the putting course. What time is the par 3 going to be lit? I want to bring in my grandpa. And that's what we want. If you really tell me that's how we're growing the game, we're giving these kids an opportunity to learn a sport that they've never learned before. But academically, they're soaring. But we're taking kids that are not at grade level. 47% of the kids in our area aren't reading or writing or scoring math at grade level. And so you're almost at 50% of kids. We're doing whatever we can to help these schools succeed and give these kids the ability to succeed both in life and on the course.
I'm jealous. I'm going to be honest with you as a parent. As a parent who sits, and my wife sits at night with our oldest just doing homework until 8 o'clock every night, to be able to hear what you guys are doing, in helping these kids grow and helping these kids learn, and then introducing to a game that Dave and I both played with our dads. I played with my grandfather growing up, and be able to have them take this, like, that's true game growth. And I'm going to ask this question. This was brought up on one of our previous shows. So one of our previous guests questioned the game of golf and growing the game, and how they all talk about growing the game. In your opinion, do you think the powers that be actually want to grow the game, or do you think they're happy with where it is, but they have to speak to the idea of trying to grow the game?
I think more the latter. I've listened to the previous about the comment of the PGA Tour and coming in, and because we're having an event, we're growing the game. I truly mean this in the best way possible. I believe a lot of the athletes in today's society have got caught up into, stardom or fandom, and they've kind of forgot their roots. And you truly see some of the guys that care the most. They want to get down to your level and get connected to you and find ways for you to be like, wow, you're a real person. I mean, it's behind me. Roy McIlroy has been here a few times, and I can't tell you how good of a person he is, and just the person that he cares about. But he is at that high level where he can't just go walk into a place and not be mobbed, right? No. And I truly believe that he does want to grow the game, and I know there's a number of them that have foundations set up and that they are truly trying to. But I also think there's a disconnection of how. It's not just, showing somebody who somebody is. When the match came, we had one kid in our entire program who knew one of the people who was coming. Like they don't know, but we had 100% of those kids that have never been exposed to the game of golf before. Yeah. So they're not watching golf on TV. They're not getting golf magazine. They're not following golf Instagrams. They're not on your show. So they don't know, what's what. They knew who Michael Jordan, or they knew who LeBron James is, but they don't know a golfer. And so after the match, you saw the connection to kids going, oh, I saw him on TV. I saw him there. He shook my hand. He came in the way back. But I think for me and the idea of growing the game, I truly believe it needs to happen organically. It's not just give a kid a club and give the kid the ability. It's providing access first and foremost. We say at the park here, we're removing the proverbial walls of golf that exist. We wear T-shirts, flip-flops. I'm looking at a guy out there on the putting course. He's got 2 dogs. He's sitting out there with a beer, and he's watching his daughter putt down the hill. This is golf. This is how you're growing it. You're making it a place that people can come to. And, oh, by the way, we had a section championship today, and the course is in pristine condition. And this guy's sitting on the green, but that's the culture we want. We want to make sure that you're invited here. We want you to be part of something that's bigger than a top 100 golf course.
When I was down there, there was one thing, and I have a buddy down there. I'm sure you and he had chatted today. I told him the one thing that I wanted was one of your caddy shirts. I wanted a caddy t-shirt so bad. It has the park logo, which is the coolest logo on the planet to begin with. Like it might be the best golf logo on the planet, but it says Looper down the sleeve. It's a long sleeve dry fit shirt. And I was like, I want one of those just because it looked cool. Hey, so I know you touched on this a little earlier in STEM. And STEM is such a huge buzzword in the school districts, no matter where you are. How is the path? How are you guys going about teaching STEM at a golf course?
So STEM was obviously a core value here. I mean, not for the park in our education world. We knew that in the likes of TGR and other similar entities, STEM is such a powerful program for kids to have creativity and imagination. And so for me, I know this is going to perhaps be a cop-out, but I've learned through my career in the YMCA for years of hiring the best people and get out of their way. And I truly got to handpick the teachers in Palm Beach County. I got to find the best science teachers, the best art teachers, the best teachers that truly exist and want to give back. Most of them could care less about a golf course or that they're even working at golf, but they care about the kids. So when we looked at STEM, we wanted to figure out ways to make it fun. And initially, which we still do, we have a curriculum that's built on science of golf. So we test air displacement, velocity and speed, aerodynamics, and we go test it on the golf course. We put a softball on there, and we hit how far would the softball go because it's weight. We take a cue ball or a basketball, and we test these different philosophies that exist, and they create their own hypothesis, and we go test them, especially windy days here and windmills. Those are great. But we also know that kids like to play. And so we do robotics. We have little STEM kits that we work with. We have little gems that we kind of break. And of course, kids love to play with slime. Who doesn't? And so we want to make it. It doesn't come out of your carpet.
If I ever see another thing of slime at my house, it'll be too soon.
Yeah.
STEM has been a fan favorite for sure. So much so that it's extended past our classroom. Our STEM programs have then extended into our Family Fun Friday nights, where we'll do activities on the patio because we want the community to know that we're there for them. And we're going to give the kids an activity while they go sit and have a beer or a pizza. And we can watch your kids for a little bit, but we want to do something with them that they may not get in the classroom.
That's
so we I used to work at Space Mountain in the Magic Kingdom, and we used to open up early for math kids to come in and calculate. They would ride Space Mountain once with the lights on and once with the lights off and try and figure, how fast it was going and if it changed. So it's just really interesting to see that concept, continue on. But, getting back to, some of your kids, a lot of golfers, they call themselves artists. I might be a crime scene artist, the way my game goes. Yeah. And golf on a golf course, it's a canvas of beauty. And you have a really cool art program there through the path. And recently, one of your artists won a cool award from the Cognizant Classic. Can you go into that program and the award a little bit?
Sure. No different than hiring the right people. We hired an amazing art teacher who truly cares about the game of golf, but also the landscape of Florida. So that program initially started off painting different trees here at the park. And so we would take kids on a navigational tour of the park, and we find something and take a picture of it. And we would, come back and either paint it or use acrylic or mold it with clay or something of that nature. But that's since evolved because we kind of ran out of trees and bushes and everything else that is here. And so it evolved. And even you might be able to see some behind me on the wall. We have some paintings of the wall on some canvas. These kids are truly artists. They see the natural landscape here. We have the best sunset in South Florida. I know I'm biased, but it goes right down over our par 3 course at night with the lights on. There's not much better sunsets that exist. Kids get to see that when they're here at night. It's a continuation of our educational program, but it's cross-pollinated and excited kids for art outside, because let's be honest, I mean, my daughter loves art. She, is in the class a lot of times when she's not in gymnastics, and my son hates it, doesn't want to do anything artistic. He, doesn't like that. I'm starting to see kids who are like my son, who go to the art program, and now they're starting to go into the classroom and actually find fascination in it. Their imagination is bigger when somebody's challenged them to do something that's creative and imaginative. And so we're starting to see that. And little Evelyn, who won the award, she loves golf. I mean, listen, I love golf. You guys love golf. I don't know if collectively our love is what she loves golf. She shows up in a golf outfit every day. Her dad brings her here on a bike. She's in the back of a little a trailer, and she's got her clubs, and she comes out. She wants to play. She knows she got to get her homework done, but everything that she does in her classroom is golf related. And so the Cognizant Classic had put out a little RFP kind of for proposal for an art project. And one elementary school, one middle school, and one high school kid was selected as the winner. And so she went all in with her experience here at the Path, where she kind of encapsulated an art project that had a little bit of everything, from shoes to clubs to whatever it may be. And she hand drew everything, and she submitted it, and she won. And not only did she win, and she was recognized in the volunteer tent and everything prior to the event, but she got access to the event for the week. And she go out there and she got to meet Ricky Fowler. And so that was kind of the highlight of it, because Ricky's donated a number of things to us and our kids. And so there's, Ricky's name is used here a good bit, especially if you find a Titleist with an orange ball or anything Puma. It most likely came from Ricky. But seeing and getting to meet him was truly an honor for her. But it's only just a small part of her golf journey, because she absolutely loves the game.
We're big fans of Ricky on the show.
We are, yeah. Dave likes to pick him in our pick 'em week that's at least a once a month pick for Dave. So it's funny. I never thought that I would do this, and I coach my 9-year-old soccer team, and we've seen Ted Lasso. That's pretty much what it is, although we've won the championship the last 2 years.
He's just worse than Ted Lasso.
Well, yeah. But in soccer, we use cones and do drills and try to make the process fun for these kids to learn. It's an instructional soccer league. At the Path, you touched on it earlier. You talked about the snag golf and mobile snag. And for those people that don't know what snag stands for, it's Start New at Golf. Can you talk about the benefits of snag, why you guys are using it, and how you're teaching these kids that have never picked up a golf club before how to play this game?
So we built a snag course here at the park. So when you first come in to the property, there is a actual little space for snag. And I don't know if it was utilized or marketed the best for us when we offer it right now. We use that space more for PE and other related activities when we're outside. But we decided to take snag on the road. And so initially snag was here at the golf course, and we're going to have an opportunity for parents to bring their kids in and hit into an inflatable. And you said, you know what? We're serving so many of the South to Central West Palm Beach area kids. How do we get this program out west? How do we get this program up north? How do we grow this program outside of the walls? We're kind of space stricken here. And so mobile snag was our avenue to expose the game outside of the walls. And so just like what we did to recruit the kids, we found ways to build relationships with similar schools of Title I standards. And we reached out, and we want to offer a free program to them, and we take over their PE programs for the entire day. We do this multiple times a week, so much so last year we served almost 4,000 kids in mobile snag. Our goal by 2027 is to have every single West Palm Beach kid with a club in their hand. We want to give them their first experience, and we do believe that we can do that in a classroom, we can do that in a gymnasium, we can do that in a basketball court. We have plastic clubs, we have tennis balls, we have targets that kids hit into. And now we have this little suit that has a little helmet and everything. And so we got a guy running around, and you got kids trying to hit the tennis balls into hitting the guy for points. And we give out special park prizes. It's something that, that kids get to walk away with some parrot gear, and they love it. And the teachers love it because we want to be there the whole day, and it costs them absolutely nothing. But for us, it's the enjoyment of really getting that first time to give a kid an opportunity to swing a golf club in a very structured environment.
Can I ask what size you have for the suit to put people in? I'm asking for Dave here if we can put him in the suit.
It's one size fits all, so I believe Dave's all.
Couldn't miss that opportunity, Dave.
No. Fat man in a little suit. I know we're here at the end of summer, and like here locally, we have my son's involved in a summer golf program run by our local 9-hole course. This year we had 65 kids come out and be part of that program. The program has raised some money, and much like you, they have, for kids that don't have their own clubs, the club has purchased golf clubs for these kids to use while they're part of the program. These kids can come out and play golf. And, I take my son out there, and there's no charge for him to go out and play the 9-hole, with me. And it's been a fantastic program for him. But does the park and the path do summer camps for kids to learn how to play? And how's that helping the working parents during those summer months?
Great question. So, summer for us, we initially thought that summer was going to be an opportunity for kids to kind of move into a traditional golf camp. And our first year of offering it, we didn't quite find the success that we might have thought. But the past 2 years, we've created our own path-specific golf camp. And my background's the YMCA, so camps are in our blood. That's something that we do, something that we pride ourselves on. And fun is a core value here at the park. And so we took the kids that we had, we full scholarship them. We went out and actually raised money. We found a funder who funded the next 5 years of summer camp for us. And it gave the kids an opportunity to stay here with us. And from 5 weeks to 6 weeks programs, we go all in. And it's truly a fun time of the year for us because, summer kind of slows down here in South Florida, at least on the golf front. But summer camp hits an all-time speed. We do everything we possibly can to give these kids the best opportunity they'll ever have, and they'll always remember. We don't make it exclusive to golf. We give them an opportunity to play basketball, badminton, soccer, tennis, flag football. We do a different sport every day. PE is part of every single day, from yoga to strength training to cardio endurance. And we do field trips. We bring in teachers from other areas to teach special art projects and special STEM projects. And we go outside of the building, and we not only go to places in West Palm Beach that we want to have fun, whether it's Rapids, which is a water park, or any place that we can kind of have indoor activities, not roller coasters, but go-karts. But this year we taught these kids how to swim. And if you think of that for a second, and I sometimes have to say it out loud, we're at a golf course, and we have a summer camp that's teaching kids how to swim. That truly is changing the lives of their future. We can get behind the education side and say you're going to be more academically strong and be a better student and introduce the game of golf. But we care so much that we want you to be able to save your own life if you're ever in a position and you're in the pool. And the confidence that was built this year by going to some water parks after swim lessons was something I've never seen before, and I'm so proud of. And so summer camp is definitely a highlight for me. It's a highlight for our staff and our teachers. They all participate in it, and kids are excited to be here. They got to make pizzas in the back of the restaurant. They got to go all these different places. It was truly a summer they'll never forget.
My son's excited about an hour and a half of, golf in the summer for lessons.
Dave, the last time I was down there, it was the weekend before Easter, and we had to tee off on 10. Okay, you'll know, what happened. There was an Easter egg hunt that afternoon. We went off just before noon, and when I got done, I was shocked. Like, I literally sat there with my mouth open at the amount of people that were there, because Dave can attest to this. I can't tell you the last time I showed up at a golf course the Saturday before Easter where you had like the entire community. It seemed like you guys had people directing traffic in the parking lots.
Yep.
So you guys revitalized the golf course that had basically gone to disrepair, turned it into not only an 18-hole golf course, you've turned it into the path, but you've also created this synergistic vibe with the community that has really just taken over, and the community has wrapped their arms around you, and you've wrapped your arms right back. Can you, if I asked my wife to go to a golf course for an Easter egg hunt, she would look at me and laugh. She'd be like, in Orlando? No, we're not. And yeah, so what is
the only reason your wife's looking at you and laughing?
That's true too. But what is the park and the path, dude? How did you guys get the people in the community to just come out in droves? And whether it's, and you've talked about Family Fridays, I've heard about the Family Fridays. Can you talk about all of those things that you guys are doing? Because it's super cool.
Yeah, so I would say a number of those initiatives in the community are really led by my programs in the path. So Family Fun Friday is the foundation of this, where we were looking for ways for people to come to the golf course and really help us kind of like open up the course. To be honest, it was the first 2 or 3 weeks. Nobody other than golfers were coming here, and we're like, man, we're fun. Like, we got this place to hang. We got lights, music playing, nobody. And so because I was out in the community, I started to really almost go door to door, but really build relationships of like, hey, come in Friday. I promise you I'll have a teacher there that will watch your kids and help them with an education piece while you can sit and have dinner or a drink. Then that grew to, I'll have a golf coach be able to give a clinic or lessons for kids to come in while they're here, while you go over there and sit there as well. In the Y, we call these parents' night out. We wanted the people to come in and trust the Y to drop their kids off and go have a date. But we wanted you to drop your kids off and have a date here. And what that did is that built trust. All of our programs at the Path, not one program would exist today if we weren't trusted. That was at the forefront, the pinnacle of everything that I shot for in creating the Path was, number one, I have to build trust in the community. Number one. So that was the foundation, was Family Fun Fridays. That moved into movie nights. We have inflatable screens that we put up on hole 18 right outside of the actual green. And we use the natural grass as an amphitheater for free movies. For people to come in your golf cart or whatever it is, bring a blanket, and we have all of the movie taken care of. You sit there and you watch. And some of our movies have had 200 to 300 people that have come into the communities looking for a free event and trusting that we're more than a golf course, that we don't care that the kids running over the practice green, not the main green, but the practice green. And Easter and Christmas are also underneath the Path, so to speak, as community events, and are no different. There are signature events. We're going to launch a third one. It's going to be a fall festival. But we're going to stand behind Christmas and Easter, and we go all in. And I mean, we have the North Pole, we have Santa Claus. I'm trying to get reindeer next year. We have sleigh rides that come from the agronomy team and the tractors and elves, and everybody's in. We have the Easter Bunny.
Can you do me a favor? I need an email when we get done. You've got my email address. Can you give me the date for that? I might try and convince my wife that we're going to come down for it. I'm just wondering.
Need to. We had hot chocolate and spiked hot chocolate. Easter. I don't know how many Easter eggs we gave out this year. I knew the number. It's in the thousands. I want to say it's 10,000 or more. But we threw it out to the widest net possible, and so many people came. It shut down the roads. Like, people couldn't go anywhere outside because they're getting out. I can imagine.
I was there. It was crazy. Like, it was. You guys were directing traffic in the parking lot. It was insane out there.
The news was here. I think next year I'm trying to get a helicopter to drop everything off if we're not in the no-fly zone. And President Trump's not here. We might be able to get away with the helicopter and dropping the.
You guys are close to Mar-a-Lago, so yeah,
we're real close. So, but I mean, it's just what the premise of these programs is, just to build trust that we're more than a golf course. The success of the park on a grand scale, it can be attributed to a couple things. And I truly believe the golf course speaks for itself. But the second piece is how much the community trusts us. We're their cheers. The same families come in, they bring their friends in. We had a wedding here last year. We're continuing to define the game so much more than just a game of golf. People come here because they want to be here because we're fun. Yeah. And that embodies all of our staff and our hiring processes. And I think that's who we are.
And that's a big kudos to not only you and your team, but your beverage and food team as well, too, that you have a place where people, where they trust you with their kids, but can go and get a great meal and a drink at the same time. So if the two I believe go hand in hand there for that.
They do. I mean, and the outdoor bar and grill, I mean, the ambiance and the music playing. I mean, kids are out there, football game. We set up soccer goals on 10T, and like, hey, why not? Let's get the kids in a direction that we want them to go.
Right. But you're talking about all this
transfusions, by the way, Dave, really quick. Those transfusions, though, they hit.
Yeah. You and a
not that I would have ever had one of those.
Yeah. But, you're talking about all this and, like a helicopter and everything, these programs cost money to execute. Are you guys out there? You're saying you're door knocking, you're in the community, you're taking donations. Are there scholarships for these kids? How is, if you don't mind going into some of that just a little bit?
Sure. So all of our programs are completely free. There is not a dollar. There's not a dollar exchange for these kids. Now we quantify it. So in a give back, we have what's called a community investment. So each year we calculate how much that we give back. The Path last year gave back over $2 million into the community. If we quantified our programs for what we've give out and the amount of kids and so forth, we've given out over $2 million in that year. So we've been open in the Path going on 3 years. So generally speaking, we probably have given over $5 million in community investment. All of our programs will continue to stay free. We don't want to charge families for an opportunity here. I don't want to be a bill collector, to be honest. I would rather go get the money so they continue to stay free. And so summer camp is absolutely free because we have a funder who has funded the next 5 years. So passionate that they say, I don't want the kids to have to pay for anything, and I want it to be an experience of a lifetime. We have other sponsorship opportunities that certain funders have taken an opportunity to fund, such as Mobile Snag, Fairway Futures, and a few other a la cartes for sure, which help us. But the park, when we opened, we raised $57 million in about 3 months. And so that was an opportunity to build everything from scratch, bulldoze everything. But also it allowed us to have a small endowment. And so each year that endowment continues to grow. We're able to continue to fundraise and help grow that endowment. So all of our programs in the Path can exist for perpetuity. I'm a fundraiser by nature in the nonprofit world, so I will always continue to fundraise because I do believe the need is always going to be there. So we'll always have that need, but we're fortunate that the thought when we built this place was not just let's build a great golf course. Let's set up sustainability for the future, and that's exactly why we want to teach financial literacy to kids, because big picture, somebody had this idea that we have to figure out how to fund this. We didn't even know what this was going to look like. I had to create our own budget from scratch. And they said, I don't know how much this costs, Dave. Can you help us? And I feel like I'm still figuring it out every year what it's going to cost us.
Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, good.
but that's the best way, because if if you think you have it down is when you don't. It's going into each year where you're trying to do more with what you have, and I think it's just you're on an unbelievable path there. And I'm sorry I'm in the Midwest and can't enjoy it.
Well, and Dave, to go down the next question, and Dave Andrews, this is for you, but piggybacking off of what Dave just said, I'm not far from you. I mean, I'm 3 hours up the road here in Central Florida. This is glaringly missing in Central Florida. Like, it's not even funny. And are you guys out there? Like, can people call you guys if they're trying to do this literally in their backyard? If there's a course, anywhere that's trying to literally complete this model that you guys have done, because you guys have built the model for it. Are you guys out there talking and sharing this with them?
We are. We're and quite frankly, I love to share the story. I think you can probably feel my energy and my passion through the screen. But we've had a number of entities come in to inspect us, to kind of see how we've done it. Even when we first started, Augusta came down before the patch was coming to existence to figure out what we were doing. The RNA has come in. A number of different entities have popped up since then. I truly believe, I mean, if we go back to what we started about growing the game, it would behoove me not to give out information or a roadmap or a success plan to somebody else, because that would actually hinder their ability to grow the game. I want so many more places to be able to emulate what we've done here, and I really tell them when they come in and they see this grand property, and it's absolutely a dream come true to work at it and be a part of it. But I'll tell them, you don't need this. You don't need this to do what you do in the community. You need passionate people that care about the next generation. I remember having a conversation in a group in Compton, and the guy's like, I can't raise the money. And I was like, but your property is right by a high school and elementary school. Start offering free programs to them. Start figuring out ways to do mobile snag through them. I said, then you'll start to change the game. People will be more interested in what you're doing and be able to help you fund it, because you're already an existing program. And so I think that while we have while we consider a benchmark, I'm continuing to grow and evolve in our programs here. And I hope that others see the park and see the path and go, man, this is possible. This is an opportunity of hope. And we can truly kind of be together to make this happen.
Hey, before we let you go, there's been a couple questions online. I got Instagram up here to my left, and then some comments here that I just want to get out there to you. The Orlando golfer, good friend of the show. Have you ever heard of Upswing Golf Clubs? And we can definitely get you guys in contact if you hadn't. They were the number one product at the PGA show last year, and they're literally junior clubs that you can grow in literally adjustable heads that you can take off. So something that could work as kids grow. And then our buddy Paul from Lombardi Putters, he said if you need help to let him know. He's got a great putter company out of New Orleans. So just want to get those out there. Dave, thank you for joining us tonight. I literally, this has been, I said this is going to go longer than usual, and I'm not surprised that we're where we are right now. Next time I'm back down there, I think I'm going to have to come down, and you and I might have to take some of Ryan's money. And we'll have to hang out in person, maybe play some golf and get a tour of the path, and really get to see it. So if someone needs to find out more, if they're looking to find out more about the park or the path, where do they need to go and what do they need to do?
So my contact's on the website. All of our information is on there, but it's dave@theparkwestpalm.com. But you can log on to the website, theparkwestpalm.com, and then see about us, and there'll be a picture of me.
Yeah.
And I pretty much look the same, and they'll be able to reach out and we'll connect them. Or if anybody's here, my office is the building that's right off of the putting studio, or the putting course. So come in, walk in, say hi. If you're in town, I might be able to find you a Looper shirt. They're pretty coveted.
I've heard they are.
I take at least a triple in a.
We got a couple summer camp shirts that are the same Mang brand. I got those, but the Looper shirts, they're They're
those looper shirts are fire. Like, I want one bad. And as you can see behind me, there's a caddy bib or two behind me too. So I've worn one or two of those in my day. So that's why I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. So the Orlando Golfer wants me to also, if you can let Ryan know that he owes the Orlando Golfer, Ryan owes him a transfusion. So we'll have to figure that out.
We'll get you one of the cans.
Yes, the cans. Yes, those are fire. Unbelievable. So, Dave, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been as I expected, and as we started talking about the idea of you guys coming on and talking about this tonight, I knew this was going to be a fun interview. I knew it was going to be amazing, and this definitely lived up to every ounce of expectation I ever had for tonight. So, definitely love what you guys are doing to grow the game. And keep it up. I can't wait. I'll be back down there soon, and would love to just say hello and even just meet you when I come back down there. So
absolutely,
thank you so much. All right,
thanks,
you guys
Dave, for having me.
All right, cheers, Dave.
Wow, yeah, so much.
Not only growing the game, but growing the minds of kids. You know,
they've changed
art,
the paradigm
and food,
of
and etiquette and finances.
Hi, buddy. So yeah, it is going to be, it's unbelievable. It's such a cool spot. If you haven't been, if you get the chance to get down to South Florida, I would recommend there. Another fun spot, if you've played there, Palm Beach Par 3 right around the corner is another fun spot. But if you haven't been over to the park, Dave, I know your aunt and uncle live down there. Next time you're down there visiting them, you need to stop by and say hello because it is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's hop into Smack of the Week, and let's get that done right away here really quickly. All right, this is going to go the exact way you think it's going to go, Dave. I'm just letting you know that.
Oh!
Saw that coming, didn't you?
Yep.
I know we've kind of moved odds with Dave up. Let's move it back because I want to talk about what happened this weekend, and then maybe we can get into some Ryder Cup bets. So let's head into the Cobra last call. Man, that Cobra golf, that DS Adapt, so good. 2 years ago, we were very vocal on this podcast about the fact that the U.S. Ryder Cup team showed up in Rome after not playing for a month, and it looked like they hadn't played for a month. So when this year rolled around, Keegan Bradley asked the guys to show up this past weekend and play in Napa together. And I will say we give the tour a lot of credit for pairing the guys together and hanging out together. I thought that was well done on their part. What was your opinion of how they played this weekend?
I think they played well. Scotty with, what was he, down by 7 and came back and won. Another win for Scotty. Napa is not going to translate itself to Bethpage by any stretch of the imagination. We all know that. But this was more about these guys playing together, and building team chemistry together. And at the end of the day, it's a win for Scotty. Great. But I think the Ryder Cup as a whole won with having them all there. And props to new dad Xander. I know we kind of tried to figure out why he wasn't there, and being a dad kind of excludes you from things like that. So props to him. Props to Bryson for being there with all the team stuff going on. But I think all those guys and the vice captains just going out and getting a chance to play rounds together. I think that in itself is a win for USA Ryder Cup.
No, I think that what happened this weekend was great. I'm going to say I think obviously Ben Griffin admitted that he missed a few 5-6 footers that he needed to make. I think the one thing that this weekend did was give these guys the opportunity to figure out what they need to work on going into next week. and it was a really cool opportunity for them to get to play together and have some fun. And I wish Justin had played a little better and finished under par, but at least he knows what he needs to work on. So that being said, as we get into next week in the Ryder Cup, I don't want to get into odds on the Ryder Cup until next week, obviously.
Yeah.
But do you got any fun prop bets that people are taking action on right now that you could kind of go over? Let's roll this one real quick. Odds with Dave presented by Nikon, the official rangefinder of the LPGA Tour and the Golfing Dads Tavern. Did you see, by the way, there was a stat that came out today that the LPGA hasn't had a multiple winner this year on the LPGA Tour? Nobody's won more than one event on the LPGA Tour this year. I find
that hard to believe, but
I find that hard to believe in the middle of September. But that was the stat that came out here that nobody had won more than once this year. So that shows some really good parity across the board there on the LPGA Tour. But that being said, Dave, what prop bets do we have on?
Top debut score combined U.S. and Europe. Russell Henley's at 2-1. Cam Young's at about 2.5. Ben Griffin at 3.5. JJ Spawn 4.5, and Rasmus at 6.5 to be the top debut scorer.
Yeah, because Rasmus is the only one that hasn't been on a Ryder Cup team.
Yep. To score the winning point.
Ooh.
To claim the cup.
The clinch.
Bryson at 15-1. Russell Henley at 16, Xander at 17, Scotty, Sam Burns, JJ Spawn, Harris English, and Ben Griffin at 17, JT at 18. Rory at 30-1 to be the clinching point.
You know why I don't think that would happen? And I actually think
he'd probably go off a little too early.
Yes, correct. I don't think. I think if you're going to do something, it's one way or the other. I think you're going to send Rory out first, and I don't think it's going to be too deep into the action where Rory can do that. I can see that.
Tournament foursomes, USA 1-1, Europe about 1.5, and 4-ball. US is getting negative odds, and Europe is at about 1.5 on that one.
As we've shown in past years.
So we'll go over some other interesting bets next week.
Yep.
What else we got next week, Steve?
Next week we're actually going to continue this conversation about growing the game next week. It's a hot topic, and we're going to actually have the CEO of the Central Florida chapter of the First Tee joining us. I'm actually going to a clinic that they're putting on this weekend for neurodivergent children. It's going to be an interesting, some of the things that they are doing here in Central Florida with the First Tee is absolutely incredible. So I'm really excited to get him on to talk about, again, growing the game and doing the things that they are doing. So look forward to that. I hope everybody has a good week.
Sorry we ran late today, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us the entire night. And we'll see y'all next week.
See you next week.
Cheers.
I'm really fortunate, man. I mean, having an opportunity to build something that's
And remember, folks, use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at Desert Fox Golf. Also use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at golfish.com. Use code GolfingDads to get 20% off your order at Jacket Sunscreen. And use the Golfing Dads Tavern to get 5% off your order at FlightScope.